to be a very, very interesting conversation today. Please let's all confirm that we can all hear me loud and clear before we jump right into the conversation. Just give me a thumbs up or drop anything in the chat box so that I'll be sure that you all okay. Thank you, Kehinde. Fantastic. I can see a couple of people on the call, Kehinde, Oluwabayo, Urban Light 6, Osiritin, Toby. All right, so let's just do a little bit of introduction. Just feel free to drop your name and where you are joining us so that we'll get to interact together and get to know each other before we jump right into the conversation that we have for today. Okay, so let's quickly do that within the next couple of minutes and then we'll jump right into our conversation for today. Okay, so just your name and where you are joining us from so that everyone on the call will get to know you and also know that you are here fully. Can anyone hear me? Treasure, Shana, okay, fantastic. Because I can't see anything in the comment section. Please, if you can hear me, just feel free to drop anything, your name, and okay, fantastic. Kehinde joining from Lagos, Nigeria. It's good to have you on the call, Kehinde. Okay, let's hear from every other person that is right here, your name and where you are joining us from today. I can see Timmy also joining from Lagos. I can see, I think I missed someone's comment. Yeah, Urban Light 6 from Port Harcourt. Fantastic. It's good to have you on the call, Urban Light 6. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Okay, let's hear from others before we continue. Quickly, your name, where you're joining us from, so that we can jump right into the conversation that we have for today. Tops 1 hour plus, we should be done, and we all can get back to everything that we have planned for today. Okay. All right, tops 1 hour, and then we are done, and then we can get back to what we all have planned for today. Okay, so in the absence of that, I think a lot of people are not dropping their comments, but I'm just going to go ahead for us to continue. So what we're going to be discussing today is on jobs AI will replace and how to strategically position yourself with practical steps to take. Okay, jobs AI will replace. I know many of us before now, we always hear the acronym, oh, AI is going to take your job. AI is going to take your job. So today we're going to have a little bit of conversation to even understand the jobs that are also at risk. And if AI is actually coming for my job or if it is coming for your own job. Okay. And in the course of this conversation, my colleague Treasure will be dropping the attendance form. So feel free to fill the attendance form so that even if you had any reason to drop off at any point, we're going to share the slide for this conversation with you. And also, we are going to share the recorded version of this meeting so that by the end, you can easily be able to go through it and understand everything that we had to discuss. Okay, and if today is your first time, please make sure that you are filling the exact form. Even if you've been here before, the slide and what it contains may be what you are looking out for. So let's jump right into what we have for today. It's going to be a very, very interesting conversation. I love one-on-one conversation. So along the line, I'll require you to unmute yourself, speak, so that we also get to interact better. So who exactly is organizing this conversation that we are having today? So we are Tenalytics, and we are the leading educational technology company that is helping people of the Black community to break into several career paths. All right, so we've done this for more than 5 years. We have helped close to 3,000 people move from our classroom into landing their first job across the globe. And that includes in Africa, Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, as well as UK, US, Canada, and other countries. But specifically, we are going to be talking about Tenalytics business. And what we do for Tenalytics business is to bring to you business-led experience where you learn how to also impact your organizations from a particular business angle, okay? And we've helped a lot of organizations to also train their staff across the different states in Nigeria. We've done a couple of things in Lagos, in Abuja, in Enugu, as the case may be, and also help individuals to learn specific skill that relates to the career paths that they are currently in. We've also done this for the last couple of years, and we've helped a lot of people to be able to learn the skills and also improve their organization. And who am I that I've been speaking to you for the last couple of minutes? My name is Chukwuemeka Ekpa, and for close to 10 years now, I've been playing in this industry. I started my career as a GRC, that's Governance, Risk and Compliance Officer in the banking sector before I transitioned to several other roles. I've worked as head of control in fintech industry. I've also worked as a data analyst in the fintech, as well as a business growth consultant in the hospitality space. But right now, I'm currently working as talent development consultant for Africa and also Europe. And I am the CEO of Tenalytics. For these last couple of years, I've been a CEO in Tenalytics. I've helped over 1,000 people to move from our classroom into landing their first jobs. Okay, so feel free to connect with me across the socials there on LinkedIn at Chukwuemeka Ekpa, or Instagram at Ekpa_Chooks, or Twitter at Emeka_Heist. And we are going to continue this conversation and make it as personalized as possible. Personally, for myself, I've been moving from sector to sector. I started from the financial sector to the capital market, from capital market to the fintech industry, from fintech to hospitality. But right now, we are in the educational technology space. And of course, I'm going to give you what I've learned from these sectors to make sure that you learn from my mistakes and also from my own experience. Okay, so there are a couple of things that we are going to be looking at today. All right, so after this conversation today, there are specific things that I expect you to go out of here with. Okay, but if the 3 things I'm going to list is not part of what you want to take out, feel free to drop the exact line of what you may be needing. So that I'm going to make sure that before we finish this conversation, I will definitely touch base with that thing that you drop in the comment section. Okay, so after this session, number one thing that I expect you to understand is some of the jobs that are at risk. Okay, I expect you to understand if my job is at risk or if your own job is at risk. And of course, you also understand the skills to go after and the practical steps. Okay, one major thing I always mention to people is that once you've identified a problem, which in this concept is that, oh, my job is at risk, the next thing we are going to do is, okay, what practical steps do I need to take for me to get a skill that will not be at risk? And then lastly, we're also going to talk to you about how to position yourself for success, how and where that you can apply to all these jobs. Okay, so but quickly, I want to have a very interactive conversation. So if you've been in any of my sessions before now, it takes a different flow. I love when I speak and I get interactions from people, and we're going to practice it within the next 10 minutes. All right, first thing is, I want all of us on this call to have a very deep thinking right now. Okay, think deeply and answer this question. Okay, feel free to use the raise hand icon and I'm going to call you up to speak, or feel free to drop it in the comment section. Right, so that question is simple. Do you think AI can replace you on the job right now? Okay, do you think what you are doing right now, that AI can replace you on that job right now? Let me hear what we all think. Okay, feel free. I don't know the jobs that we are doing, but if you want to unmute and speak, just use the raise hand icon and I'm going to call you up to speak. All right, if you want to also drop it in the comment section, feel free to drop it there and I'm actually going to pick it up from there. All right, who wants to go first? Who wants to talk about if he or she thinks that AI can replace him or her on what they are doing? Or if you don't think that AI can replace you on what you are doing right now, also feel free to unmute and speak. All right, just use the raise hand icon and I'm going to call you up to speak. This is a very, very interactive conversation because that's where I'm going to get to know. Okay, Onyinye is a customer service person, Celestine is a data analyst, Aisha is this, Walter is maybe a salesman, Tobiloba is maybe a risk manager. Right, so but if you do not unmute or drop it in the comment section, I may not have that data that's going to be very, very instrumental to our conversation for today. So do you think AI can replace you on the job right now? Nobody wants to go first. I mean, if it's positive, feel free, use raise hand icon, and you're going to, affirm and also talk to us about what you think. And if it's negative, you're also going to, say no, and then also talk to us about what you think. Just, 30 seconds conversation. Are we all scared to speak? AI can't ever replace me. Ifeanyi Peterson, fantastic. I love that, Ifeanyi. So Ifeanyi, I'm going to make you a co-host so that you can unmute and speak to us. Okay, what you do and why you think AI can't ever replace you. I love that assertion. I love the adjective that you are using, that AI can never replace me. So Ifeanyi, please, I don't know if you want to speak. I've made a co-host, Ifeanyi, so that we also get to understand what you do. Okay, I'm on transit. All right, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Who else wants to go? But if I also feel free to drop what you do in the comment section so that we can also pick from there. And others can also look at what you are doing and know if you start things that they need to start filtering. So just feel free to drop what you do so that people can also learn from it. So nobody wants to unmute and speak. Nobody wants to unmute and speak. Something in me is telling me to call on Sobiola. Sobiola, I hope I'm not murdering your name. Sobiola, yeah, Adeyemi. Something in me is telling me to call on you to speak. Do you think AI can replace you on the job? Are we all scared to speak? I've never had a session that is this quiet before. Nobody wants to speak to us today. Nobody wants to go.
I want to speak. I want to speak.
All right. So
yeah, good evening. Good evening, sir. Well, I think AI cannot. It can replace, but not. I don't know. I don't know how to even put it. You know, AI is artificial intelligence. It's a machine.
Yeah.
It's what it's we that we develop the logic. We program we code into the machine. So, but the way we human being think, we think critically and we think logically. So not all, not well in the area of let's say in the area of restaurant now, they are now using AI. Even I was in the virtual meeting this afternoon that AI conducted this surgical operation for someone in US last month. But there are some things that, like now, there are some vehicle now that you don't need driver to even drive it. But there are some work that involve creativities and logic that AI cannot. AI is a machine. It's where you direct it to go. That is where it will go. I think I'm making sense, sir.
Yes, you are.
Hello, sir.
So Lola, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
What do you do currently? Because you said you don't think AI replace you.
Yes, I mean, I work in FUNAB. I'm a principal academic planning officer in FUNAB. So we do a lot of data analysis and data entry too.
Yeah. All right. So Tobilola is in academic. All right. Thank you so much, Tobilola. Tobilola is in academic. Yeah, he thinks that AI can't replace him because there are some things that requires critical thinking, logical thinking that he is doing at the moment that to an extent is not yet encoded into AI. And he's a principal academic officer. Okay, I think Suleiman wants to also speak. Hello, Suleiman. Zainab Taiwo. I've asked you, I've made you a co-host. Please feel free to unmute and speak now, Suleiman. Zainab, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Your voice sounds familiar.
Good evening. I'm a teacher, and I think AI cannot replace me. Though
Fantastic.
We have different AI
that
has developed that can help students in academics. But regardless of it, being a teacher does not mean me teaching alone, mean impacting knowledge. I work on the students' emotional intelligence. That AI cannot replace. I don't just go to class and teach and leave. I make sure my students goes along. I carry my students along the way I teach, which AI cannot do. I comes to student levels. I understand them, which AI cannot do. So
fantastic.
We have more reason as a teacher. Like I think that AI can never replace that aspect of human being. So that's what I have.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing, Zainab. So Zainab is also of the school of thoughts that AI can't replace what she's doing. And she's a teacher, and she believes that because she attached emotional intelligence into what she's doing, and of course she knows how to carry them along, she feels that AI can't replace her. I want to hear from someone that is outside the educational sector. because we've heard from Tobilola. Tobilola is in education, that's academia. Zainab's as well in the education space. So is there anyone that is in maybe different sector of the economy that wants to speak? Just use the raise hand icon and I'm going to call you up. Mustafa, I'm tempted to call you up and I've made you a co-host. Gabriel Ianulua. Okay, Gabriel, I need to see you because that is not raising hand. Gabriel, somebody. Let me look for you so that I can make you a co-host. All right. Gabriel, I've made you a co-host. Please feel free to speak now, Gabriel.
So it was like, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Gabriel.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm a data analyst. So, but so seeing this program, so I really love it even to learn more. Based on my own school of thought and like the way what is going on right now, because the AI, the entire scope of AI is to replicate human intelligence and is making the work to be more easier, which we literally take job from people because there are things that even when we are presenting, like we want to present presentations, so there are things that we ease you from even doing all this or rigorous work you are doing before. So you can use Gamma AI to do your presentation. The AI now generally is making work to become more easy. You are going to spend 8 hours to prepare. In using AI, less than 2 hours, he has accomplished it for you. So literally, if you are not, if you don't know it, know that there are some people that they have spoken already, and they are talking about there are different AI. So as regarded different fields that we use. So in as much you are not able to work on all these things. So literally, people that know how to work on it, so they would hire them even before you. So it is good for you to know it and couple with your intelligence, as some people have spoken already, that you channel it to do things that you are the one that you are going to program it, you are the one that are going to instruct you where you are going to accomplish some tasks. Good. But now, because AI is making work to become more easier, so if you cannot work with it, so those people that know it very well, they will be higher ahead of you. So, and you also will just be, if some people are just depending on their intelligence, AI is making everything to be more easier. Like I was doing something this afternoon as well. So just to create a dashboard. So I don't need to pass through all those rigorous work again in the field of analytics. So I just need to work on bricks. I know my Oga will know. So I just work with bricks AI. It generated the dashboard for me with the insights. So, and those are the things that I'm going to use hours to prepare. So AI just generated everything for me. Now, based on my own understanding, I understand that area just to communicate it well. So AI is making work more easier. If you cannot work with it, those people that know it very well, coupled with their intelligence, they will be higher ahead of you. So in my own, AI will replace some jobs. So it's just a matter of time. So it is better for someone to know how to work with it, or that person will be left behind. So that is my own input, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Gabriel said that AI is going to replace some, AI is not going to replace the jobs, but people that know how to use AI is going to know how to make their jobs faster, easier, and of course, better. He was able to utilize Brick to make his job faster this afternoon. So Gabriel is of the school of thought that people that know how to use AI are going to be able to work faster and easier because they've involved AI into what they are doing. Fantastic submission. So apparently nobody on this call believes that AI can take their job. Apparently nobody on this call believes that AI can take their job. Tobilola said AI can't replace him. Zainab said the same thing, as well as Gabriel. So let's move on. And actually, people that know how to utilize AI are going to be able to know how to involve AI into what they are doing. So everyone that knows how to use AI, when you attach it into what you do, is going to make your work easier, faster, and better. Is it going to replace your job? To an extent, there are jobs that AI is going to replace. It is a fact that most of us don't want to believe yet, but to an extent, there are jobs that AI is going to replace. So we're going to look at some of those jobs today and also find out what do we do to make sure that we are not found wanting. And the value of jobs every now and then is always going through the floor, okay? And it's simply because of technology, all right? The value of jobs is currently going down the drain, and it's simply because of technology, because of the advancement of several things that we are seeing. Okay, right now they've invented this, they've invented that. How does it affect our job? How does it affect what we do on day-to-day activities? So all these things has an effect. Okay, it has a lot of effect with regards to what we do. So the value of jobs, like I said, is going through the floor because of technology. And there are three basic things that is making this to be so. One is that technology, which involves artificial intelligence, it automates things. So where you don't have to do the job, all right? Technology on day-to-day basis automates things where you do not have to do the job. A couple of weeks ago, we automated something in our business here at Analytics that a staff asked us a question whether we are trying to sack her. Is that the reason why we are automating this? But that is not the reason why we automated anything that we did. We simply wanted to work faster and better, and we had to automate. So she saw it from the aspect of, oh, are you trying to sack me? Is that the reason why you had to automate this exact process? So technology automates things where you don't have to do the job. Next one is that technology also simplifies things where anyone can do the job. I don't know if we're all getting what I'm saying. So two things I've said right now. It automates things and it also simplifies things. So if you are looking at businesses these days, if you are looking at organizations, two things you have to be looking after is how do I also automate, and also how do I also make my job to be simpler. So if you are carrying out any activity right now and the job is simple, how do you also still perform that task, even though it is now a simple task? There are some tasks that as of today, if you employ someone from secondary education, they can actually do that same thing that you are expected to do, right? I don't know if you agree with me, because technology has simplified it. Okay, so there are some activities that have been simplified with technology that anyone can be able to do. So because of that simplification that has happened, that value that has been placed on that job before now may drop because anyone can actually be able to do it now. And then lastly also, it also outsources things where people can do the job from all right, I think I got frozen at a point. Can we all hear me? Can we all still hear me? Okay, fantastic. Now your question should be, how do I make sure that I automate and place myself in a way that if a process is automated, my services will still be required for us to carry out that exact transaction? That's number one. Then number two, how do I also present myself in a way that even though this job has been simplified, I will still be needed? Okay, even though this job has been simplified, I will still be needed. And of course, if it is outsourced, do I have the skill that can actually be able to perform this activity from anywhere I am? So these are questions that we need to ask ourselves. Even though this job is outsourced, do I have what it takes to perform that exact activity from anywhere that I am? Once you're able to answer this question, it will give you the answer to know whether you are ready to actually play in this era of AI. So remember, first thing I mentioned is automate. Have you been able to automate with the job in such a way that even though things have evolved, even though you are a data analyst And right now, organizations are looking for, oh, can data analysts actually give us this data with the fastest results? One person can work involved. That job that you're doing right now, if it is simplified, can you still be able to get into it? Then outsourcing, this is where many of us have very big challenge. Outsourcing is where we have very big challenge. Okay, so for instance, a job in outsourced right now, do you have the technical ability to still perform that job? I don't know if we are all following. A job has been outsourced right now. You have the technical ability to still perform that job. We recently hired someone, and I think the person stays in it or thereabouts. And every now and then, what the lady always mentions is, oh, I don't have time. Oh, it's raining. I was not able to do this one. Means that the ability is that job first. Right? So many tasks has been automated, simplified, and also outsourced. And for that outsourcing, that is where we have challenge. Because for you to be able to work remotely, for you to be able to work from any place that you are, because the job has been outsourced to you, you need to have those technical eloquence, you need to have those technical abilities for you to be able to provide that same results. So when these three things are not existing, you see yourself lacking with regards to the advancement of artificial intelligence. Okay, I've mentioned three things here today. Number one is automation, simplification, and as well as outsourcing. Are we all still following me to this very moment? Are we all still following me to this moment? Just feel free to drop any reaction so that I'll be sure that there are people that are still following me till this moment. All right, thank you. So number one, like I said, is automate, then simplify, as well as outsource. Once you are able to make sure that you fit into these three brackets, you are already 50% solving the problem of AI replacing your job. So whenever you feel like, oh, if my job is outsourced, I can't perform it, it means that it's now have something really cool. That's what they are doing right now. Someone is not in your organization to provide it. And you know that, so you have the capability to provide it. It means it's the key with regards to the job that you are doing. Okay? And you also ask yourself, if I automated, my thing and the very is also that simply means that to as well as automate and upscale. Okay, and if job is simplified and so that you provide that means that you also upscale. So for everyone saying they know that the job is not straight, they feel that they can provide jobs and should be Lola, Zainab, Gabriel, everyone in the educational capability, right? That make sure that they feel like their job is not at risk. It means that you need to ask yourself three inherent questions. If what I'm doing right now is automated, simplified, and outsourced, can I still do it? If the answer is no, then that means there is need for you to actually be able to upskill yourself. Okay? That means that there is need for you to upskill yourself. First, I want us to look at this Forbes report. And for people that have not filled the attendance form, please let's make sure that we fill it so that by the end of this conversation, you will get the slide that we're using for this conversation, as well as the recorded version of this conversation. Okay, so please let's make sure that we fill the attendance form so that by the time we are done with this session, you get the slide, also get the recorded version. On this phone and really exactly what so there are a lot of jobs that they mentioned that are play. There are a couple of jobs that was mentioned that are that is data entry. Means that the data entry is any activity that involves data entry need to actually upskill. Right? It's a responsibility that forces you to actually enter data manually. So data entry is the number one job that identified as it is actually going to be replaced. Then after data entry, we are also looking at scheduling. If you are doing any activity that involves you to schedule, right? If you are doing any activity that involves you to schedule, you are also going to be replaced. Please, let's confirm that we can still hear me. Right? Please, if you can hear me, just drop a reaction or a fantastic. Fantastic. If you can hear me, fantastic. I'm happy that all of you are giving that reaction. Okay, so data entry, scheduling, these are the top two jobs that has been identified as jobs that are going to be replaced as fast as possible. Now, what I was also able to identify is that there's replacements coming for everyone. Or let me not call it replacements because it's scary. All right, let me not call it replacement because it's scary. There is automation coming for everyone. Is now how fast will you get to what you are currently doing? But for data entry scheduling, it is seen that it is the fastest jobs that are being automated. All right. Anyone that is doing any activity that involves virtual days, virtual assistants, you have to schedule someone's call and so on and so forth. With my phone, I can simply say, "Hi Siri, please schedule me for a meeting by 7 p.m. with Treasure," and it's going to do every single thing that I've said. All right, and that is how, if you are using Copilot in Microsoft, with Microsoft Copilot, you can also easily be able to schedule all these conversations or anything that you want to do. Okay, if for data entry, you can as well as utilize Microsoft Copilot to instantly drive data from one point to the other without manually keying in or information. Entry scheduling and is responsible for customer service. With many companies application not that someone is responding to you. And 90% of the time, you may not know, but it is a chatbot that is responding to you. Right? 90% of the time, until you now get to the point where they will now say, "Oh, do you want to speak to an agent?" That is where you're now being taken to speak to an agent. So what this simply means is that customer service jobs are dropping. If before now they require 1,000 people to perform an activity, and because of the introduction of chatbots, it is not audible for me, Abraham. Abraham, hi everyone. Can we still hear me? Abraham said I'm not audible for him. All right, thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Kehinde. Abraham, it might be from your own volume. Try and raise it a little bit. All right, so customer service have also been seen as a very, very prone career path. Then, if you're also performing activities that are administrative tasks, many of our administrative tasks are being automated as well. You can see that is now changed from the red icon to something pink. I'm going to give an example. In our program here at Analytics, we have data associates that come into the class to organize sessions, to take attendance, to take feedbacks, and so on and so forth. But we've also come to realize that some of those activities that Microsoft or Google rather can give you the attendance from of everyone that came to this meeting. And if you build automation using Zapier and other things, from those people that attended that meeting, it can automate it to their own dashboard as well. And instantly say, "Oh, for this last class that we had, Noel was there, Jennifer was not there, David was not there," as the case may be. So this is showing you that most of the administrative tasks that we can do, as of today, automation is also coming towards it. Right? Automation is coming towards, and as well as bookkeeping. I'm sure this one is not a issue to any of us. Then this is going to come as a challenge to many of us. Law. So when I was going through the Forbes report, I saw law. So categorically, it wasn't mentioned as law. They're going to tell you contracts, drafts, people that do clerical activities, and so on and so forth. But in summary, it is an element of law. As of today, if you want to draft an agreement for something right now, you can go to any of these Gen AIs and ask it to draft something for you. I mean, lawyers can come to this conversation today and tell you, oh, that is not fully okay, that is not this. Even some law firms have also built their own generative AIs that are being paid for. That, oh, clients, you require our service, you don't have to instantly always be talking to us. Use this Gen AI that we've built and get this. In fact, I think we need to get this report. So once you get it, once you get this slide, click on that link there, and it's going to bring you right here. So this is it. Let me see where it spoke about law. Let me see where it spoke about law. There is a couple of things. The jobs will fall fast. Okay, clearly you can see that it mentioned that there are jobs that will fall faster than the others, right? There are jobs that are going to fall faster than the others. Quickly, let me scroll down and see where it's mentioned a couple of other things. Oh, I'm not using my paid accounts. All right. Okay. So you can see clearly where it's mentioned paralegal work, contract drafting, and legal research are also gone. All right. So there are some of these companies that have also built their own in-house AI to take advantage of these things. So I always love when I speak for people to understand that I'm speaking from a place of data, information that I've gathered across several postings out there, not my own thoughts. Okay, so I'm not taking gratitude for that, not my own thoughts. So if you keep going down, you're going to see very important skill there that is also mentioned, graphics designers. When I saw graphic design, I was surprised. I was highly surprised when I saw graphic design, that they are amongst the jobs that are actually going out of work. And it made me to say, okay, let me even try to use one of the Gen AI to see how it is going to react to what I want to do right now. So let's have a quick demo. Let's have a quick demo and see if this Gen AI can actually be able to provide us with what we want to do right now. So I've gone to Gemini. Gemini is part of the Gen AIs out there. So I'm going to give it one of my pictures and ask it to create something for me. All right, I'm going to give you one of my pictures and ask it to create something for me. Let me upload the file from my page. Okay, this is a picture of myself. All right, so quickly, I think first thing I need to do is I need to open the picture so that we all can actually see the picture I am giving to this Gen AI. All right, let's all see the picture I am giving to the Gen AI. So this is the picture. It should be open right now. All right, fantastic. This is the picture I want to give to this Gen AI, and I want to do a little bit of graphic design so that we even see whether it has the ability to do all these things. All right, this is my picture. I hope that guy looks like me. Okay, so I'm going to give it one single prompt. All right, let's give it a prompt and ask it to do something for us. All right, quickly, let's tell it to use this image. All right, yeah, use this image and create a professional headshot for me. Retain the exact features, because I mean, I like how I look on that picture. Then the exact features, but change the cloth to a navy blue double-breasted suit. So let's see what it's going to give me. Oh, couldn't upload my picture. Why wasn't I able to upload my picture? All right, let me quickly attach it again, upload files, and see if it can do this. My headshot, black this, so that we can actually see whether it has the ability to do all these things that we say that it can do. Okay, I hope this was uploaded. Let's see. I think it is struggling to upload this. All right, but I was able to actually do this before I joined this conversation. I was able to do this before I joined this conversation. Quickly, I'm going to show us what it was able to produce as well. Okay, I was able to do this, and let's see what it was able to produce for me. Okay, so it is still coming down so that we see the images that it produced. Now, can we all see my screen? Are we still here with me? Are we all still here with me? All right. Now, with that same image that I gave this generative AI, can we see the image that it gave me in the end? Do I have need to actually go to a photographer to snap a picture right now? Or is the picture not looking like me? Is the picture not looking like me? All right. Now, this is to show you that all these things can actually be achieved with generative AI. Now, quickly, let me also show you a couple of things that I was able to do. If I scroll down, I gave it another prompt and said, using this newly developed image, create a Forbes back cover style and add this exact image to it. And I scrolled down again, and this was what it was able to create for me. All right, it created this for me without me going to any graphic designer, simply by giving it prompts. Now, is this guy here still looking like me? Is this guy here looking like me? 100%. Even the write-ups that is on that exact image, I wanted to change it as well. And I said, okay, all these write-ups there, change the write-up from the future of finance to the future of AI, then also change the John Doe and other things there to CEO Analytics. And this is what it gave me in the end. The future of AI, CEO Analytics. So this is to clearly show you for free. It's fully for free. Right? This is fully the free version of Gemini. All right. So this is to show you that, remember the picture I gave it in the beginning, which is this. From this, I was able to transform the image to this, which I can use anywhere with my double-breasted suit. And also, I was able to use it to create a graphic design of what I wanted. Now, by simply giving it prompts. By simply giving it prompts within a space of 5 minutes, 5 minutes is even too much, I was able to create this. Now, do we all agree right now that graphic designers, that they are in big soup? Do we all agree that graphic designers are in big soup? So I just try to validate this exact side of it, that we also can all see this. So all this simply means that AI is coming. Now, how you are able to also embrace it and be able to utilize it is what is going to differentiate you from Mr. A to Mr. B, right? If for want of time, I would have gone to one banking app right now. If you go to any bank's website, you can see their financial reports for last year. By downloading their financial reports, put it in Bricks or in Cloud AI, it can analyze that report and give you insights within a space of some few minutes. Now, this is to show you the elements of how AI has evolved. Copywriting is also at risk. Basic journalism is at risk as well. Okay, because something is happening right now in, let's say, Anambra, or maybe let's say in Borno. Someone is tweeting it in Twitter. Someone is, writing about it on Google. Before you know it, it's everywhere. But there are some jobs that it is going to come slower to, and that starts with software dev. Now, I know many of us are going to also argue, with this Gen AI, you can easily be able to generate codes. Fantastic, you can, but will it give you what you need to build? That's what we call vibe coding right now, that can use Gen AI to code, to write scripts and be able to push it out. But there are some elements that is still missing. Is AI going to get there? It is, but it's going to take a while. Engineering is also part of the places that's going to be taking a while to get to. Data is also part of the places that is going to take a while to, and then most importantly, teaching. So correct, Tobilola and Suleiman Zainab, you guys are actually correct. Teaching, it is also going to take a while for it to get to those points. So all these ones that we are seeing on green places, it is going to take a while for AI to actually replace some of those jobs. Most importantly, teaching, data, engineering, software dev, an item of, and then an aspect of these other ones that are basically in white. So what you want to do, if your job is within any of these brackets, is to instantly look for ways for you to upskill. You need to try upskill. And upskill. So we say make it and they upskill to make it not necessary. That it is not necessary for them. If you are going to you need for you to provide in service, right? It is not something that you need for you to okay, the man is okay, all right, I think it should be better now, right? It is not something that you need for you to get there. So you need to actually upskill, adapt, and make sure that you prepare yourself in a way that that job is not swallowed. So how do you adapt? The first thing that everyone needs to know is that the time of getting several skills that is not adaptable, or maybe just being an expert in one place, the time has passed. For instance, I'm a data analyst right now. I've worked as a data analyst, I've worked as a business analyst, and because I've seen AI coming, I'm not embracing AI. I'm bent on, because of my skill, I'm an expert data analyst, I'm an expert business analyst, nothing is going to happen. I can tell you for a fact they are going to be there and it is going to swallow you up. So we should refrain from just skills, okay, around just expertise, but let's also look at adaptability. So once you are able to make sure that you are adaptable as a data analyst right now, you need to infuse AI into what you are doing. As a business analyst, you need to infuse AI. As a teacher, in all sincerity, you need to also infuse AI. So even though AI may lack those abilities to carry out emotional intelligence, critical ability, and stuff like that, you still need to be able to. I'm teaching right now, and I've embedded the aspect of AI into my teaching. Someone that doesn't know how to utilize it may not be able to infuse it, and the person is still using Blackboard. So even anything that you are doing, you need to be adaptable to where the economy is tilting, which is AI. Okay, and then number two is you need to target the friction points. You need to target the friction points. There are places that is going to have challenges to come into. For instance, in organizations like now, sales, we try to implement AI for sales in analytics, where AI is going to be placing calls to people, all right? And it's going to be speaking the way I'm conversing with you. And you are not even going to know that it's AI that is speaking to you, okay? But at a point, we ran into a couple of frictions where after a certain number of minutes, it had issues. So we realized that there is an issue here. And our sales guys are still fully comfortable because there's a friction point with regards to AI trying to replace them fast. But if I know that with time, it is also going to evolve to solving that initial friction that we had. But the most important thing that you need to do is also target those job points that there is frictional points that exist there. And of course, you need to consider the last mile opportunities in your current sector. The last mile opportunity in your current sector is start pushing for the top. You are a data analyst now. How do you evolve for you to also climb to the top and not just a data analyst? How do you become maybe the head of business intelligence? How do you become the team lead for this and so on and so forth? When you start going into those roles, it is now more of a leadership attribute than just be having a skill attribute. So this is how we all can easily be able to adapt. But let's make sure that we look at number one, which is adaptability. Your skill may not save you, which means you need to adapt and also imbibe those elements of AI into your day-to-day activities. You need to adapt and imbibe AI into your day-to-day activities. So this is what a lot of people have actually been able to go through. So how do you actually imbibe that element of not having, being adaptable to learning? First thing is you need to be open to learning, all right? And when we speak about learning, it simply means that you need to learn those skills that are crucial for you to be adaptable to the change, right? For instance, AI is coming, and someone is going back to learn how to do typewriting. Are we not saying that we've left that person behind? Or AI is coming, and someone is going back to learn courses that are not going to be involved in those advancements. So you need to make sure that you learn those career paths that are in demand. data, AI, prompting, social influence, networking, financials, leadership, creative thinking. These are skills that you need to make sure that you have. So first question you need to ask yourself is, all these things listed here, how many of them do you have expertise in? Data, are you an expert in data? AI, do you know how to utilize AI? Prompting, do you know how to utilize prompting? And one major issue I've also seen is that some of us communicate to AI like it is our brother or our sister. This exact activity I performed using Gemini, I can tell you that if you go to perform that same activity, if your prompting is weak, it's going to give you a result that is also weak. So you can see how clear I was with regards to telling it what I wanted. I need you to retain all these features and then simply change the clothing from what I'm wearing right now to a double-breasted suit, right? And it gave me that. But if you go to perform that same activity without actually prompting it the right manner, you are going to have challenges, right? You are going to have challenges. So prompting is a skill that people also need to have. A lot of us here on this call, we have ChatGPT. But if that same ChatGPT, if you use it and if I use it, there's going to be difference in our results. And that's because I understand prompting. So it's important for you to make sure you learn skills that are in demand so that you will be able to utilize it very well when the time comes. Then after learning these skills, packaging is the next thing that you need to have. How do you present yourself in a way that it shows evidence of these things that you have? How do you optimize your CV to reflect that you understand how to utilize large language models? For instance, maybe you don't even know what large language models are, but it's also tilting towards Gen AI. But because you don't understand that, a company is saying, oh, we want someone that knows how to utilize LLMs with regards to performing their activities as a data analyst. You're instantly lost. So all those packaging is important, starting from optimizing your CV, optimizing your LinkedIn, your portfolio, coming to mentorship session, and also being prepared for interviews. So the number one package that anyone can have is the ability to reference a place when they're going for a further job. Oh, while I was consulting with analytics, I did this. While I was interning with analytics, I performed this project. And we are also available to provide you that backup to show, oh, this person actually consulted with us. So while you are in, don't just call it an experience, it's a consulting experience because you are working on real life projects. So all these things are what builds you, they are what molds you to a more whole person. So it's not just going to be, oh, you have the skill. You can actually be able to validate it and show evidence to stand out. Then applying to jobs, very, very crucial. You've learned the skill, you've packaged yourself. How do you now apply to jobs? One of the fastest mistakes that everyone makes these days is easy apply, easy apply, easy apply. You've seen a job on LinkedIn, first thing we're doing is easy apply. So that is the fastest way to go down the drain. So there is need for you to tailor your job specifically to the job that you are going for, and then approach it from that same place. Once you learn how to do these three things, learn, package, and apply, you are definitely going to land that job you're looking for in this exact terrain. So remember what I said, learn, package, and apply. So these are things that people that have also passed through our program, these are things that they were able to do. And one major factor or one major derailing thoughts that people have most time is, oh, I'm this, I'm that. Do I have what it takes to play in this tech field? So I've been able to also curate sort of people that pass through our program from different fields. And first person is Evelyn. So Evelyn transitioned from being a nurse to becoming a data engineer. All right, from being a nurse to becoming a data engineer. So after years of working in the hospital, Evelyn said, oh, I don't want to do this forever. I don't want to constantly be coming to the hospital. I want to be able to, work remotely. And that was the motivating factor for her. And she also transitioned. Same thing happened with John. John moved from being a medical doctor to a data analyst. And these stories are not just made up. When you get the slide, simply click on the YouTube icon and it's going to take you to the place that they also had their live testimonials. So they can hear directly from what they had to say. Same thing with Tony. Tony moved from being a pharmacist to also becoming a data analyst. Right? And how they were able to make all these things happen for them is by learning, by packaging and as well as applying to jobs. So this is the juicy part. The three of them, they still work in the health sector, right? They still work in the health sector, but not from the aspect of being a nurse or being a doctor or being a pharmacist. They are now working from the tech aspects of those spaces. So one major thing that we don't understand is that tech is an element of all the sectors of the economy that exist out there. Whether it's agriculture, whether it's finance, whether it's banking, whether it's energy, tech infusion is there. So when you already have that initial sector-based experience and you infuse tech into it, it doesn't mean that you have to leave that your work environment. You can still work in that same sector, but now from a different approach. Okay, because sometimes hospitals want a pharmacist that understands data. So that's where Tony come in. Oh, we want a nurse that also understands this, and that's where Evelyn come in. So for people that also came from the arts background, you can see people like Timmy Vaughan. Timmy used to be a lawyer, but he was also able to transition to business analysis. Okay, he also learned the skill, packaged himself, and applied to the jobs. For Osaubo used to also be a sales personnel. So she used to work as a sales officer for one of the fintechs back in Nigeria. And she was also able to transition, as well as Ngozi, that transition from being a customer service officer to also the tech space. So this is to show you that no matter the aspect of, no matter the field that you are coming from, whether it is medical, which is sciences, or whether it is art, which can range over a couple of things, there's a place for you in this tech space. And even if there is no sector, you've not had any experience at all, there's also possibility for you to learn something. So this is Ikmat. If you listen to what Ikmat had to say, she said that she moved from being a full-time stay-at-home mom to landing a data analyst job, right? So once you get the slide, once you click on it, it's going to fully tell you what Ikmat also had to go through, right? It will all immediately bring you to, hear what she passed through, and then you can easily be able to hear. So, but for want of time, we are going to, move faster. But make sure that you fill the attendance form so that you're going to get the slide and also get the recorded version of this conversation so that on your own can easily now be able to go through every single thing that we have there. I hope we are all still following me to this very moment. Are we all still together? All right, thank you. I'm getting a couple of reactions. So what I want us to also understand is that when we talk about skills that we need to learn, don't jump into any skill out there. You need to make sure that this is the place, that this is where the world is moving to. If we have any realtor on the call, there's a common slang that they always use, which is know where the people are going to, buy the land before they get there. And when you look at the core skill after 2025 right now, you're going to see the core skills that are needed. What are the skills that organizations are looking out for? Number one is analytical thinking. As of today, if you're going for any job and you don't have, I have analytical thinking, I'm resilient, I'm flexible, I'm agile, they're going to see they're going to lack some things. I want us to take note of number 11 that we have here, which is AI and data. So as of 2025, according to World Economic Forum reports, organizations are still looking out for these first 15 skills that we have here. Okay, so if you look closely, you're going to understand that number one skill that they're looking for is around cognitive skills. And after cognitive skills, they're now looking at resilience, flexibility, agility, which is around self-efficacy, all right? And then leadership and social influence, which is around working with others. So clearly, none of those first three skills are even pointing to tech, according to the World Economic Forum reports. When you get the slide also, can click on the report, download report, and it's going to take you to the full report. So the first three skills that organizations are looking out for before now is analytical thinking, self-efficacy, as well as working with others. But let's have a look at where the world is moving to. According to that same report, according to that World Economic Forum report, there are changes according to the fastest growing world skill. The fastest growing world skill as of today is AI and big data. I hope we all agree with me. The number two is now network and cyber security. The number three, we're now having technology literacy. So you can see that the first three skills that are now needed by employers they are all tech skill. Remember, before now, the first three skills, they were around cognitive skill, self-efficacy, and then you have working with others. But right now, the fastest growing skills are now around AI and big data, network and security, as well as technology literacy. They are all around tech skills. Then from number 4 downwards, you now start seeing creative thinking, resilience and flexibility, which is now around self-efficacy again, as well as those cognitive skills. So it simply means that tech skill moved from being number 11 before now, see where the AI and data used to be, number 11, to being the number 1. So it simply means if right now you still lack all those tech infusion into what you do, there is challenge, because there are people, right, there are rising forces coming up to outthrow you from where you're currently sitting. So what you need to do is, how do you now infuse tech into your job at the moment? How do you infuse tech into your job? And after those infusion, I always mention to people that we struggle to land job most time because we are looking at the wrong places. All right, we are looking at the wrong places. Many of us are still fixated on just LinkedIn. But if you go to Remote OK, if you go to Remote OK, it's going to show you available jobs there as well. So quickly, when you get the slide, simply click on the link right there, and it's going to take you to the site also. So right here, you can also see the jobs that are available on this website. You can see language instructors, paralegal, enterprise account managers, marketing up. And for you to be able to perform these activities, which are fully remote, there has to be an element of tech infusion into what you are doing. Okay? There has to be an element of tech infusion into what you are doing. If you don't have that tech infusion into what you are doing, then you've lacked that. Remember the 3 things we mentioned earlier: outsourcing, simplifying, and automating. That means you lack the number 3, which is outsourcing. Right? So how do you make sure they can present yourself in a way that if your job is outsourced, you can still comfortably be able to provide service? Right? It's by infusing tech skills into it. And then you can also click on working nomads, and it's also going to take you to the website where you are, as well as going to see all the jobs that are also listed there. Okay, but for you to have this, remember what I said earlier, please, let's make sure that we fill the attendance form that my colleague Treasure is dropping in the comment section. Once you fill that attendance form, by the end of this conversation, we are going to share this slide with you and also the recorded version of this discussion. You can see that right here is looking for someone that is a talent coordinator remote, looking for social media, chat and phone sales. And all these, they are not even Nigerian-based jobs. So when we hear that people are landing jobs abroad, it is actually valid. But the problem is, do you know where they're looking for those jobs from? Okay, do you have that element to be able to work on jobs that are outsourced? And for you to have all of them, you simply need to be able to infuse data and AI into what you are currently doing. Are we all still following me to this very moment? Are we all still following me to this moment? Okay, thank you, Gabriel. Now, there are other links embedded. You can click on Angel List, you can click on We Work Remotely, and it is also going to take you to their own website and show you a couple of things there. Most importantly, LinkedIn. I don't joke with LinkedIn. I don't joke with it for anything. So no matter any of those sites that you are visiting, it's important for you to also learn how to leverage LinkedIn. Very important. Remember, when you are applying to these jobs, there are something I mentioned, which is around, please do not do easy apply. Look at the jobs, tailor your CV to the specifics of what they are looking for and apply to them. Okay, look at the jobs, tailor your CV to those specifics and apply to them. In summary, all of these things, it always look impossible until it is done, which is why I love to tell my own story. I didn't start off my career with studying a tech-related degree. I studied civil engineering. From civil engineering, I moved to banking. Inside banking, I had to now get a couple of skills that made me to move to data. Okay, from there, I am the CEO of a tech company. My founder studied industrial chemistry. My co-founder studied economics. None of us has any tech-related degree, but today we run a full-blown tech company. So if we were able to do all this transitioning, you also should be able to do it. It's not a matter of the sector of the economy. I've been able to show us people that did the transitioning from the medical line, the science background, people that transitioned from the tech background, from arts background rather, and also people that were also able to transition from no background at all. So we do not have any excuse for us saying that this is not meant for me. Right? We have other people, like I mentioned at the beginning, we've helped close to 3,000 people move from our classroom to landing jobs. Can see other people that also made the same move. We have Abigail, we have Benga, we have Nathaniel, we have Abdurrashid. Abdurrashid is currently residing in Nigeria. When he started his own role, he was living in one of the southwestern states. Okay, and then he landed a job with Child 420, which is in US, and he had to relocate out of Ekiti to a different state, which is the capital city. So this is to tell you that all these things are possible. And the reason why we add all these success stories is that for you to also listen to them, reach out to them and hear what they have to say directly, and be able to know that these things are their own experience and not what we are telling you. Okay, that is the reason why we always add all these success stories on the slide. Remember, there are two things that recruiters are looking out for. There are two basic things that employers always want from you. Number one is they want you to be able to show that you have the skills, right? And after showing that you have that skill, they want you to also show that you've been able to do something relating to using that skill, which is the experience that you are bringing in. Okay, it's not all about saying, oh, I have a data skill. What have you used that data skill to do before now? That is where many of us fall. Okay, which is why what we do here is that you are learning using practical based models where you are learning from our own consulting activities. Right? You are working on real life consulting activities that you can comfortably say, oh, when I was consulting with analytics, I worked on this project. These are things that recruiters want to hear. They don't want to hear, oh, I learned data analytics from analytics. No, that is a no-no. They want to hear, oh, I was consulting with analytics and I used Power BI, I used generative AI, I used Tableau to do this. This is what they are looking out for. And if you're able to package yourself in such a way to show value with regards to having the skill and also having that experience, you can easily make all those switches that you are looking for. Right? We have Martin. Martin is not living in Nigeria. I think he's in Cameroon or thereabouts. He used to be he studied chemistry, but he's transitioned to data analytics and currently working as a pathology data analyst. Now, I want us to look at the relationships here. He studied chemistry, all right? He got data analytics skill, and now he's working as a pathology data analyst, So clearly you can see that he still retained what he did in the school, his chemistry. He infused data into it, and he's now working as a pathology data analyst. Okay, now we have Pavel. Pavel lives in Cameroon, and he used to work as a teacher. Okay, and then he also got data analytics skills, and he's now working as a healthcare data and reporting analyst in the United States. So when I mention to people that your initial experience is also a factor of where you are going to tilt into. Right now, you're a customer service officer. You infuse data into it, and now you become a customer service analyst, right? And that is you still working in that same sector, but infusing tech skills into what you are doing. So your initial experience is still very, very valuable to the insights that you're going to be providing on your new job. So don't think that, oh, if I move into this, I'm throwing away everything what I have. No. It's still going to be very, very instrumental with regards to you being able to function on those jobs. Okay, you can see what two of them have in common, which is they joined Tenalytics. And when you get the slide and click on these portfolios that we have here, you're going to see the different projects that they worked on, how they were able to mold themselves and be able to land those jobs that they are looking for. So there has to be evidence to the skill that you have. All right, there has to be evidence to the skill that you have. So let me quickly click on one of the portfolios so that we see what one of them were able to build. So I click on one of the portfolios there, which is the portfolio of Victoria Uchemado. And right there, you can clearly see that she worked on deep care hospital ER visit analysis using Tableau. She worked on Redox airline flight analysis. She worked on Express Tech food delivery. She worked on Zenith Electronics. She worked on Nestle product analysis. And these are all different sectors of the economy. Zenith Electronics is in the technology space. Nestle is FMCG. Redox Airlines in aviation. Express Tech is in supply chain. Then Deep Care Hospital ERTC is in the health space. So you can see that she worked on 5 different sectors of the economy. Now, remember that she also have experience that she's currently, working on. For instance, Zainab is a teacher, which means aside these sectors of the economy that you are going to get experience in, you're also going to be showing that, oh, you've actually been a teacher before now. So all this sectoral-based experience, these are what shows value. These are what recruiters are looking out for. And when you click on any of those projects, you can comfortably see the exact work that she did. Right, so quickly, let me click to see that is taking me to the work that she did. Right, it's loading for a while. So when you click on it, it's going to take you to the exact work that she actually did. So it's not just you putting up stuff. It's not just you putting up write-off. There is evidence to validate that, oh, this person have actually consulted with analytics and they worked on this. So these are things that when recruiters want to hire someone and they're going to be looking for, oh, Kwemeka has worked as a banker before now. He consulted with analytics and he had experience in health data, supply chain data, this and that, and so on and so forth. But you might be coming with just, oh, I learned data from this platform, which is not valid. So for you to land those jobs, skill and experience is very, very crucial. And how do you get all those skills? Remember what I said before. The first thing that you need to do is to learn the skill. Right? Once you learn the skill, you now need to package yourself and then apply to job. And for you to be able to learn this skill, our next cohort of training is starting by the 11th of October. All right? It's starting on 11th of October, which should be in 2 weeks' time. And what I've noticed is that people that get to add skills towards the ending of the year, companies always look for new hiring towards the beginning. So once you get this skill in October, you are using November to gather experience, before January, you've already positioned yourself to break into those companies at those new fiscal year, right? So many of us are going to say, oh, in 2026, I'm going to get this skill. That is not the best time. The best time is to learn it now, because by that 2026, it's the people that got the skill now that will be breaking into those companies. So if you want to be part of people that will mention, oh, in 2026, I got into this company, the time for you to start learning the skills is right now. And our next cohort starts by 11th of October. And there's a program there which are going to learn called Generative AI for Data Analysts, right? So part of things that you are going to be learning is how do you use Gen AI for data cleaning and also for querying and also for reporting, right? How do you use Gen AI to perform all these activities? How do you generate SQL queries and Python codes from natural languages? So if you want to write codes, but you don't want to learn it proper, you don't want to, go through the rigorous processes, you already have the experience, how do you generate it as well using Gen AI? Remember what I did earlier using graphic design, right? For graphic design, I can take my picture and give to a graphic designer, design this, design that. But utilizing AI, I was able to achieve that same result. So how do you also build AI-powered dashboards in Power BI or in Tableau? Okay, how do you make all these things? And also, how do you apply AI for forecasting, for trend analysis, and as well as for anomaly detection? So in your present organization, you've noticed that, oh, last year we had this sales figure. This year we're having this other figure. What is it going to be for next year? How do you forecast using AI? Okay, how do you build your trend analysis? So all these things are part of what you are going to be getting from generative AI for data analysts and professionals. So even if you are in the you are in HR, you are a salesperson, and you want to infuse data analysis into what you are doing, this is the course for you. Okay, and also you're going to be learning how to present insights with AI-driven storytelling. You can see how I was able to carry us from the beginning to this very moment. I didn't just come up and say, oh, learn data analytics and so on and so forth. I had to walk you through one level to the other. These are things that you are going to be getting. How do you tell a story also? Then capstone projects, you're going to work on capstone project to show the evidence of things that you've learned. Because remember, this is what you are going to be showing to recruiters as what you're able to do. And then you're going to be getting a certificate that is also internationally recognized. So we are accredited by the ACTD, American Council of Training and Development, which means once you are done training, you are getting these certifications, okay? And in the end, you are going to also be walked through CV reviews, what do you need to put in your CV, as well as LinkedIn optimization. How do you work and optimize your LinkedIn to show value? So once you're able to achieve all these things, you can comfortably come out and now mention, oh, I've learned data analyst, I've packaged myself as a data analyst, and the next level is now for you to start applying to the jobs, okay? So the class is only on Saturdays and Sundays, all right? 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays, and then on Sundays, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. There's a discount of 50% currently ongoing for Gen AI, which means instead of you to pay 200,000, you are paying 100,000. Okay, and the next course that we also have is how do you become an AI automation engineer? Right? How do you learn how to do prompt engineering as well as knowledge integration? Okay, how do you learn how to build real-world AI-powered workflows? Learning how to utilize stream feeds, fast API, and also Gradio. So these are things that you are going to be learning. How do you learn AI automation? How do you become an AI automation engineer? And how do you also deploy and scale apps after that exact training? So I'm also going to be working on capstone projects as well as getting the certificates and your CVs and LinkedIn optimization being worked on. So it's also on Saturdays and Sundays by 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays and then 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sundays. The cost is for 150,000. There's a 25% discount currently existing, which means instead of you to pay 200, you are paying 150. Then lastly, we also have generative AI for every HR professional. So you are a HR professional out there, you are looking to break into HR, you are a people analyst, you are a chief of staff, you want to understand all these activities pertaining to HR. How do you get into it? You're going to be learning how do you automate HR data cleaning. One of the best things for you to learn as someone breaking into HR is when do you perform stay interviews instead of carrying out exit interviews. One major mistake that many HRs do is that we are always doing exit interviews. But if you learn to perform stay interviews, you are going to know at what point do I need to speak to my employees to know the people that have challenges. So these are what you are going to be learning throughout the program. Okay, how do you generate SQL? How do you build AI-powered platforms? And also you are going to be learning how to present HR insights with AI-driven data storytelling. Okay, so all these things you're also going to be getting at a 50% discount, which means instead of you to pay for 200,000, you are paying 100,000. So for all the 3 courses that we have, like I said earlier, it is a 1-month program, but you are going to be in class on Saturdays and on Sundays. On Saturdays, you're going to be in class from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Then on Sundays, you're going to be in class from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. In October alone, you can mold yourself to have the skills that you need to power yourself to greatness come November, December, and then into 2026. There's something that people always say that now December we go sweet, now from September we go no, something like that. So for 2026 that will be positioned is from October that you have to start positioning yourself to get into all those places. Remember the first thing I said, generative AI for data analysts going for 100,000 at a 50% discount, then AI automation as well as generative AI for HR professionals. So this is also the summary of it all. And all you have to do is to click on the link that my colleagues are dropping and simply transfer to the account number that is currently showing. Once you are done with that, now come back to this link and click on it to register. So once you click on it, you're going to see that you have different options for you to even make payments. You can decide that you want to pay in full, you can decide that you want to pay instrumentally. Right? So once you click on it, it's bringing you here. So which of those programs do you want to go for? Right? Which of those programs do you want to go for? If you register for AI automation engineer, all you have to now do is to click on this exact place. Once you click there, you can now easily fill the form, provide your details, email, phone number, your full name, as well as your job title, the organization you're also joining with. See, you can have the opportunity to pay full payment or in 2 installments, which means you can pay 50 50, for the AI, for the data analyst, and then for the AI automation, you can pay 75. As simple as that, okay? And once you are done with it, just fill this form and submit. Then someone from our team is going to reach out to you. I don't know if at this point we have any question from anyone. Feel free to drop it in the comment section and I'm going to pick it up from there. Or you can as well as use the raise hand icon and I'm going to call you up to speak. Okay, so all these things that I've been showing us, I know many of us we want to try the using Gemini to also function as a graphic designer. That is part of the least thing they can do with some of these Gen AI that we see out there. You can use it to work as a full-blown person. Let me give us something. There's someone that finished our program 2 months ago, and this lady landed a job. Right? Okay, she didn't finish our program. She landed a job because she knows how to use generative AI. All right, she knows how to use generative AI, and she landed a job to be a HR analyst in one company. And everything that she's doing is, if she has a task, she will go to one of the Gen AIs and ask it to list every single activities to go through. And what she follows it through, she will get to her results. So all these things, people are using it to make money. People are using it to land jobs, but we are simply using it to using AI for our emotional support. Okay, I have a friend that what she does is to use AI to say, oh, this guy did this to me, this guy did that to me. Do you think I'm at fault, or do you think that he is at fault? When I saw it, I was surprised. So the same AI that many of us are using to try and make money, some people are also using it for emotional support and so on and so forth. What is the minimum support payment available from Ehikion? So 50%, have the option to pay 50 in 2 installments. All right, in 2 installments. Can pay first installments, and then 2 weeks before the program is over, you're also paying the other remaining one. Remember, it's a 1 month program, but you have the option to break it down. So we are always getting into programs ourselves. We're also learning. So last year we got into our Beta Catalyzer program because we are looking for ways to also give more value to people. And this year we are in the Dohe Accelerator program, where we're also learning to how do we give more value to individuals that come into our program. So you can see that ourselves, we are also constantly upscaling. We're also adapting to the constant change in the different sectors of the economy. Now, when you are done, you are getting these certificates from the ACT, they fully accredited, showing that your certificate is valid. Okay, when you're done training, you are getting that certificate that is fully accredited. Okay, do we have any question from anyone at this point before I go on? Do we have any question from anyone before I move on? Any question? If you have, please feel free to drop it in the comment section, or also feel free to use raise hand icon and we are going to pick it up from there. Okay, so moving on also, we have LMS, which is learning management system that you can also use to learn. If your organization is looking for, oh, want to learn this skill, want to learn that skill, we are also fully available to give out all those values, okay? We are also fully available, and it is not like the traditional means of learning where it's a one-time event, no continuity, or it's just a generic and irrelevant content. What we do is we tailor your own learning experience to your role specific, which means, for instance, let's assume that the customer service team in a bank wants us to provide training for them. We are also going to tailor it to the customer service experience, okay? And it is hands-on, fully practical experience, all right? You're going to learn theoretically as well as practical with regards to how do you learn and implement all this on your job. Then your HR can, or your manager can also have access to the platform, which they can use to track the return on this investment, okay? Or also track the availability of people that have been using it. How many minutes have Chukwuemeka committed to learning this for this past week? And as well as zero disruption. We are fully available, whether it is physical or virtual. We are also fully present to provide all this training for your organization, okay? And this is using a platform that your company can always have the cost to the training materials. It's not a training experience where once you are done, it is over. You have access to the training materials as long as 1 year, okay? And we've done all these things in different sectors and different industries. We've had experience in the financial service. We've carried out trainings for FMCG and retail, also in oil and gas, telecom, as well as logistics and tech and startups. So if your organization also require any of these services, feel free to reach out to us. At the beginning of this conversation, if you joined earlier, you notice that we played testimonial from some of these organizations. We've carried out a couple of engagements with Fair Money, we've handled Hess Holding, we've also done with Cowrie, we've done with TGI, Nigerian Brews, as well as Mikano. So all these things are not just stories, okay? So once you get the slide, simply click on those icons there that you can click here to watch. And you hear from those company staff how their own experience was, okay? So if you are tilting towards having a company blown training, we are fully available for you. But remember, the 3 programs that I've mentioned already: Gen AI for data analysts, AI automation, as well as Gen AI for HR analysts. And if you require a free demo, we are fully available to provide this for you, as well as also you are getting this as a discounted price. And remember, unlimited seats for companies that are also trying to train their staff. You can train us if you want to register your staff for the Gen AI or for the AI automation. Also feel free to utilize all those opportunities. Remember, the best time to break into the tech industry is yesterday. The next best time is today, because tomorrow, the people that have already learned those skills are going to be the ones that will position themselves to land the job. So if you want to also converse with us, feel free to reach out to us at treasure@10analytics.org or at business@10analytics.org. Or you can also check out our website, and you can easily be able to converse with us as well. I don't know if anyone has any question right now, or if you want to drop it in the comment section so that we can easily be able to answer it before we round up for today. Do we have any question from anyone before we round up for today? Any question? I can't see any question. Let's remember, the program is starting by 11th of October. And we will mention that this 50% discount exists is just for the first 20 people to secure their spots. And once that first 20 spots are fully taken, the price goes back to the full amount. So it is not just doing a waiting game. Once the first 20 spots are filled, the discount is fully off. Okay, Ehizojie, I'm adding you as a co-host so that I can actually be able to unmute yourself. Hi, Ehizojie, please go ahead and ask your question. Hand is up. Hi, Ehi, I've made you a co-host for you to be able to unmute and speak. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, please go ahead and ask your question.
Good evening. What if you start the program and maybe at some point you are not able to continue? What happens?
All right, fantastic question. So, the program is just for a month and it is fully recorded. Right? For instance, you came to class today, you came to class tomorrow, you missed on Saturday, you came back on Sunday. There is recorded version of those back. All right, and it is provided for you forever. You have access to it forever. So what we expect you to do is you go through the recorded class, get accustomed to with what was taught, and then ask questions to your facilitators. So we have a closed group where everyone is added. So once you've gone through the recorded version, you can now come and ask your facilitator questions, and he can easily be able to jump in to assist you from that challenges that you're having. So there's a recorded aspect, which means you have the live classes. It is also recorded for you that if you miss a class, you can always go back and watch the exact recordings. I hope that makes sense to you, Ehizojie.
Yeah. What if you are not able to complete your payment on time? What happens?
All right, fantastic question. So
Yes.
we understand how this happens. So like I mentioned earlier, it's 50%, 50%. You can decide to pay instrumentally. All right. But in the end, remember, it's a 1 month program. So if you're unable to finish up your payment, you are going to be asked to stop the program. Okay, you are going to be asked to stop.
Okay, then what will not happen?
Sorry?
Maybe you got the money some other time. So what will not happen?
All right, so it's like you asking, okay, you didn't pay school fees, and then you left school, and then at the point you want to pay school fees, you pay the school fees and repeat the entire program again.
Then will the person will give you opportunity to join the next cohort since you people.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said if maybe you paid for instance, you paid the first fees, but
Yeah.
when they were expecting the second fee to come, you were not able at that point,
All right.
and you were now taken out of the class. What of if maybe you have the money later on? Would they not give you concession? I don't know how you are going to run it because
Yeah, I
you
understand
need
you.
to know
So
these things.
concession is dynamic, right? So why I said it's dynamic is because if you've been following us before, last month our program was 50,000, and this month it was 100,000. So let's assume someone joined last month and paid half. By the time the next month is getting that place, the price is no more the same. All right, the price is no more the same. So it is expected that you finish up with that exact program, because as well as we want our turnover to also be okay. So we don't want to carry someone from January to December until when they have that exact money. So when you make that payment, what will happen is this: we'll add it to your classroom back, and then you will have access to the recorded version of all those conversations that you missed. For instance, you joined the October class now, and you've joined first Saturday, second Saturday, then at the third Saturday, you join them after the beginning payments, you are going to be removed. Okay, but once you complete your payments, you'll be added back to the classroom and you have access to the full program again. Okay, which means you have access to that recorded version of your cohort again. And if you have questions from it, you can now come and ask the facilitator. I hope that makes sense to you, Ehizoji. Okay, there's another Ehi that his hand is also up. Hi, Ehi Advanced. Hi, Ehi. I've asked you to also unmute and ask your question. Please go ahead, Ehi. Ehi Okion's Advanced Tech. Please go ahead and ask your question, Ehi. I've made you a co-host. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Good evening. Thank you so much. I've been following up with the webinar, and it's quite interesting. I'm very much interested in the AI tutoring, especially for this month of October that's going to start up. So I want to find out your fee. You said it's 100,000 naira, can be paid like twice, 50 and 50,000 naira. So,
Yes,
but
please.
I don't know the time that was allotted for the class training. But I just want to ask specifically, is there possibility of bringing the price a little bit lower than what is now charged, even as a discount for those of us who are very much interested? And since the program is for 1 month, can we split the payment into like 4 installments to cover, let's say, per week or thereabout?
Okay. All right. Per week, concession for per week. All right. So with regards to the amount, it is already fully discounted. All right. So a cost that we already discounted by 50%, we feel like we've actually done well with regards to that. So 50% discounted, where you pay half, and then inside that half, you have the option to pay installments. But if you want a different concession where you want to be paying week by week, I think that is actually a concession that we might be willing to make for you. All right. But what I want you to do is to send an email to this email that we have right here at treasure@tenanalysis.org and state, okay, this is how I want to also structure my own payments. And then Treasure is now going to give you a response as fast as possible. Okay. So if you want to be paying, okay, for the 100, you want to pay 25, 25, 25, 25, please reach out to Treasure, and then she's going to definitely make a concession for you. But there has to be an email trail to also back that up. And that's for everyone on this call. Okay. If you want to structure it in that manner, there has to be a trail that has to lead to it. And it also can be for you a Hizoji. Right. If you also want to have a different concession, please always feel free to send an email to this treasure@tenanalysis.org, which she just dropped, and we are going to have a look at it and then either concede or get back to you on how it is going to go. I hope that answers your question, Ehio. Okay, thank you so much. I think that's all the hands raised for today. So thank you so much to everyone for listening to me for the last couple of 1 hour, 30 minutes. It's not easy. So thank you. Remember what I said earlier. The people that are already reaping the fruits of tech are people that have already joined. And this AI advancement is still new. So by the time that everyone jumps right into it, the car may have moved. Just like crypto. All right. People that are enjoying Bitcoin now are people that bought it in 2008. If you wait till 2025 for you to buy it, the return may not be as high as people that got in 2028. Okay, that is what is actually happening. So the best time to attack it is now, that interest is still slim. People that are getting into it are just very, very small. So that you can also be able to position yourself as a thought leader in this exact sector. All right. So, like I always mention, the best time to get into tech is yesterday. The next best time is today. Thank you so much to everyone for listening to me. On behalf of my founder, Adeza Suleiman, my co-founder, Efemina Ipro, and every other person that made this session a very successful one, Treasure, Janet, and other people. Thank you so much for joining us. I still remember your guy, Chukwu Emeka Iba. Cheers, everyone, and bye for now.